How old were you when you got your first job? Now, meet the kids and young heirs who skip the whole paycheck stage and jump straight into billionaire territory. Most haven't even hit 25. Some inherited empires built before they were born. Others landed their fortune through unexpected turns of fate. And while a few enjoy the spotlight, most are quietly stacking millions behind the scenes. These are the youngest billionaires in the world and how they actually made their money. Number 10. Livia Voigt de Assis. Livia Voigt de Assis may not be a household name, but in Brazil's industrial world, her last name is gold. At just 20, she holds a $1.2 billion stake in WEG SA, the continent's top electric motor manufacturer. Her grandfather helped found the company in 1961. Today, WEG's machinery powers factories, elevators, and wind turbines in over 130 countries. Livia inherited her fortune through a family trust and keeps a low profile, reportedly still studying psychology at university. She's rarely photographed, avoids interviews, and doesn't serve on the board. But her silence is louder than words. WEG pulled in over $6.7 billion last year, and with electric infrastructure booming, her stake keeps growing. Insiders say her trust is now eyeing AI-powered industrial automation as WEG's next frontier. Number 9. Kim Jung-min. You probably played one of her games without even knowing her name. Kim Jung-min, 23, is one of two heirs to the $1.3 billion fortune tied to Nexon, the gaming titan behind MapleStory and Dungeon Fighter. After her father, Nexon founder Kim Jong-ju, passed away in 2022, Jung-min inherited part of NXC, the holding company that controls Nexon. She has no public Instagram, no business title, and no interest in media. What she does have is boardroom voting power and a silent grip over one of the most influential gaming firms in Asia. Nexon's mobile division alone brought in billions last year. Despite mounting pressure from regulators targeting loot box mechanics, her fortune remains safe inside a diversified family trust. It's proof you don't need fame to make billions in gaming. You just need to be born at the top of the leaderboard. Number 8. Kim Jong-un. At 21, Kim Jong-un holds the same $1.3 billion fortune as her older sister, but she's charting a very different path. While Nexon, their family's gaming empire, continues to dominate across screens in Asia, Jung-yoon is more interested in coral reefs than combat maps. She's studying marine biology at Seoul National University, and her share of Nexon's profits is funneled into a conservation-focused trust until she turns 25. Nexon, meanwhile, is preparing for its most ambitious mobile release yet. If it lands, her fortune could spike overnight. What makes her unique is how little interest she's shown in the business side, for now. Family insiders say she might eventually launch an oceanic nonprofit powered by her dividends. But even if she never touches a game console again, Nexon's billions will keep flowing, whether she's in a lab coat or in a boardroom. Number 7. Alexandra Andresen. At 28, Alexandra Andresen swapped spreadsheets for stables and inherited a $2.1 billion fortune by age 19. She's the heiress to Ferd, one of Norway's largest private investment firms, thanks to her great-grandfather's vision, boosted by her father Johan's strategic donations of shares to her and her sister. Alexandra became the world's youngest billionaire in 2016, but instead of board meetings, you'll find her riding dressage or supporting the Norwegian equestrian community. Despite her wealth, she lives close to her roots in Oslo, quietly funding sports clubs and youth scholarships. Her interest in corporate governance is modest. She's on the advisory board, but prefers to stay behind the scenes. Yet even in silence, her influence echoes. Ferd invests in clean energy, sustainable consumer brands, and tech ventures. Number 6. Rémi Dassault. Born into one of France's most powerful dynasties, Rémi Dassault, 23, didn't just inherit a name, he inherited flight. After his father, billionaire Olivier Dassault, died tragically in a helicopter crash, Rémi took control of a $2.8 billion stake in Dassault Group. The company builds everything from Falcon private jets to the Rafale fighter jet used by the French military. It also owns a major software arm, Dassault Systèmes, which makes engineering tools used in aerospace and car manufacturing. Rémy is currently training for his pilot's license, while learning the business side from inside its wind tunnel facilities. France's new pressure on dual-class shareholding means Rémy may soon need to flex his voting rights more publicly. Investors are watching whether this young heir has the steel nerves to steer one of Europe's most iconic aerospace empires. So far, he's flying under the radar, but that may not last long. Number 5. Kevin David Lehman, Germany's most secretive billionaire, doesn't give interviews, doesn't appear at company meetings, and won't even take a board seat. But Kevin David Lehman, 22, holds a 50% stake in DM Drogerie Market, the largest drugstore chain in Germany, and it's worth $3.6 billion. He inherited the stake from his father at just 14, and the company's been raking in steady profits from everyday items like toothpaste, vitamins, and organic snacks. With over 3,700 stores across Europe, DM is virtually recession-proof. Kevin, meanwhile, prefers a minimalist life. He reportedly enjoys nature walks and biking in the Black Forest, far away from corporate life. His money is managed by professionals, but he signs off on big investments. With EU laws tightening on single-use packaging, DM is ahead of the curve, testing refill stations and biodegradable plastics. Number 4. Franz von Bombach. Franz von Bombach doesn't run a company, but at 23, he quietly owns $5.4 billion of one. He and his siblings are the heirs to Boehringer Ingelheim, the world's largest private pharmaceutical company. With $27 billion in 2024 sales and drugs spanning diabetes to cancer, Boehringer is a pharma heavyweight. Franz studied chemistry at Heidelberg and is now directing his dividends into ESG-focused startups. He is especially interested in technologies that recycle waste heat from drug manufacturing plants, an area where few investors look. Boehringer's board has a strict policy. No family member can join until they've worked 2 years outside the firm. Franz is fulfilling that with a stint at a Berlin biotech incubator. Colleagues say he's more scientist than socialite. If he continues down the ESG path, his influence might shape not just medicine, but how it's made, packaged, and powered. Number 3. Johannes von Bombach. At 19, Johannes von Bombach is the youngest billionaire in the world, and he's as unconventional as they come. He holds a $5.4 billion stake in Boehringer Ingelheim, just like his older brother Franz, but he splits his time between economics classes in Munich and composing piano pieces under a secret stage name. His passion? Making pharmaceutical research more transparent. He's currently lobbying to release anonymized clinical trial data through an open-source model. Boardroom veterans are skeptical, but investors admire his vision. Boehringer's blockbuster blood thinner Pradaxa earned $4 billion last year alone, so even small policy changes have massive financial ripples. Off-camera, Johannes live streams his music performances and donates the tips to global vaccine campaigns. Some fans believe his song titles contain hints about his next move. One thing's certain, this billionaire doesn't just crunch numbers, he hits all the right notes. Number 2. Luca Del Vecchio. When you wear Ray-Bans, Luca Del Vecchio might be making money off your face. At 23, he owns a $6.6 billion slice of Delphin, the family holding company that controls eyewear giant Essilor Luxottica. The company makes everything from designer frames to smart glasses and owns brands like Oakley, Persol, and Sunglass Hut. Essilor Luxottica brought in $8.6 billion in profit last year alone. Luca's personal focus? Sustainability. He chairs Delphin's Ecotech Fund and has been pushing for bio-based frame materials that reduce plastic waste. Sources say he's also backing startups developing augmented reality lenses that can overlay digital displays in real time. If that tech hits mainstream retail, Luca's fortune could double. Unlike most heirs, he occasionally speaks at innovation conferences, and he's not afraid to pitch. Number 1. Clemente Del Vecchio. Topping the list is Clemente Del Vecchio, age 20, with a net worth of $6.6 billion and a grip on the future of wearable tech. He shares ownership of Delphin with his brother Luca, but Clemente plays a more hands-on role in investment strategy. While studying at Bocconi University, He helped guide Delphin's solar and fintech bets, both of which paid off big last year. His current obsession is augmented reality. Clemente's team is quietly funding micro-lens printers for next-gen smart glasses that could replace phones altogether. Insiders say he's gearing up to launch a stealth startup backed by his family's optics know-how. Every major decision still requires a signature from Delphin's chairman, but sources close to the board say Clemente's already being groomed to take over. He may not be the loudest in the room, but in the world of billionaires, power often speaks in quiet deals. So, which young billionaire surprised you the most? Comment below and hit that subscribe button. We've got more coming.